Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamu alaikum. I'm ZimiSays and welcome to my YouTube channel ZimiSays. Yes, today I've got a very special guest with me. He's a former Australian cricketer, have represented Australia in 123 one-day internationals and seven tests. And now he's currently in the broadcasting field as a commentator and a presenter, the one and only Brad Hogg. Hoggy, what's up?
I'm going well, mate. How are you going, Zim, in Pakistan?
Yeah, I'm currently in Karachi. The COVID second wave is here and it's spreading crazy. And the cases
Right, so
are.
you're in lockdown now.
No, we are not in a lockdown, but everything is shut down over here, like school, colleges. So we are taking online classes at the moment. So
Oh, right.
uh, Brad, first of all, how are you, Brad, and how are you doing?
I'm going very well. I'm very lucky that we're over here in Australia. We've got cricket going here. We've got cricket going in New Zealand. And we're getting crowds out the venues as well, which is really good. It's adding to the spectacle on the TV. And it's good to see Pakistan outside now and they're training. And it looks as though that series between New Zealand is going to get up and running, which will be great.
Okay, Brad, here's my first question of the interview.
Yeah.
Tell us a little about your cricket journey from childhood and went on to playing for Australia at international level. Just a brief journey up about your cricketing career.
Oh, look, I was very lucky. Here in Australia, I grew up in Western Australia. So in Perth, you look 200 kilometres south in a country region where we only have 700 people in our little community. And I grew up on a farm. We had 3,000 acres, or just under 3,000 acres in Williams. But early on, it was only probably 1,500 acres up until the age of 15. But I was very lucky. I had mum, who was a very good sportswoman. She probably could have played hockey for Australia. And Dad was an extremely well-renowned sportsman, let alone cricketer. They called him the Bradman of the bush. And Mum used to feed the ball machine to me on the farm day in, day out, only if I had done my homework at school. She was a school teacher. If I hadn't done my homework, I missed out on her feeding the ball machine for a week. She would drive me up to Perth to play club cricket when I didn't have a licence. And I played a lot of country cricket. By the age of 12, I was playing men's cricket down in the bush. So I was exposed to Tupper cricket very early on, which was good. At the age of 18, I started playing grade cricket up in Perth, and I didn't make it till the age of 22, or 1 week before I was 23. Played as a batsman for WA, and I didn't start bowling leg spin bowling till after that first Shield game that I played, that first class game. So at the age of 23, I started to take up leg spin. So, and 2 years later, I played for Australia, and then spent 7 years in the wilderness, and then got another crack later on. So, yeah,
Okay.
very, very fortunate.
Okay, Brad, do you have any regrets that you couldn't represent Australia much more big because you were really wonderful left arm wristband. But what do you think was the main reason you couldn't represent Australia much more? Was it due to the high competition? Because at that time Shane Warne was leading the spin department. So, what your take on that?
Oh, look, I don't have any regrets. Really, if I look through my career, from day dot, I got an opportunity as a 15-year-old to go and spend a week with Jeff Marsh, and he showed me how to train and what it took to be an international cricketer. I worked my guts off to get where I was. I probably didn't have as much talent as a lot of other people. I wanted to make it as a batsman. I wasn't quite good enough, and then I got an opportunity to bowl left arm leg spin. Very rare type of bowling. And it was Tony Mann, the late Tony Mann, who represented Australia in Test cricket many moons ago. And he said you should stick with leg spin bowling. I just bowled and bowled and bowled. I knew that I had reasonable talent with the bat. I was a good fielder, and that I was probably going to make it in one-day cricket. So I sort of concentrated on that format, and I was just grateful that I got the opportunities of Test cricket. I don't have any regrets because I played in one of the toughest eras of Australian cricket, and to earn my spot through that era, I knew that I deserved it. Yes, I had Shane Warne and Stuart MacGill in front of me, but I knew that I could be a better one-day cricketer than them because, as I said, I was better with the bat and better in the field than those two particular players. That was my advantage for getting in. Oh, sorry, I had a bit of a dribble there.
No. Okay, Brad, what is the main reason that in today's cricket there are not much leg spinners and left arm wrist spin like before we used to see you yourself, Shane Warne, Saklan Mushtaq Ahmed, Anil Kumble. They were the best, and there was a variety in spin department. If I talk about the overall world cricket, but now there are very lack of spinners here. Like I can only see a few who are dominating at the moment, like Afghanistan, Rashid Khan, and there are who have potential but not as good like we used to have before. So, what is the main reason for that, in your opinion?
Oh, look, I think it's pitches. If you go back through the Warne era and before then, pitches were made to wear through a test match, and then days or the latter part of day 3 to the end of day 5, spinners really came into their craft then. So I don't think we curators have been taught to prepare good test match pitches to allow every aspect of our great game, or every skill of our great game, to have some presence of dominance at some stage throughout that game. And I even talk about the first day. There's not much green grass left on pitches anymore. The Kookaburra ball doesn't swing as well, so it's taking new ball bowling away as well. For me, I just think it's the standard of the pitches. And even when you go back to one-day cricket, back in my time and even earlier on, there was enough there for the spinners to be able to hold their weight in that particular format. And if we look at T20 cricket and one-day cricket now, they've got to bowl quicker in the air, or they feel as if they've got to bowl quicker in the air. And, that's taking away the art of drift and drop and a little bit of turn. We've got to test the batsman's skill. We can't have the likes of Glenn Maxwell being able to have time to switch his hands and play a left-handed cricket shot against spin because the wicket is so flat and it's not assisting the spinners. So I think we've got to teach the curators how to prepare proper wickets for each format of the game.
Okay, Brad. Now you took the name of Glenn Maxwell over here. Now I've got one question. Now, since he's at that switch hit 6, there have been many statements in the media regarding it. The great Ian Chappell just said yesterday that those batsmen who have ever tried to hit hit this shot, the umpire should call it a dead ball. So I personally found this statement a little weird because didn't make any sense for me. How
Yep.
do you find this statement?
Look, I totally agree with it. Now, where is it? Look at this. It's an old rusty bat here.
Hmm.
So I'm a left-handed bat, so I hold my hands like that as a left-handed bat. That's a normal sweep shot. I don't mind it when the player plays a reverse sweep by just turning the bat around and keeping the same footwork. It's when he changes his hands to play that particular shot, he gets more power on it, and he can hit it to more directions on that side of the field. Now, as a bowler, you're at the top of your mark. You're preparing that field for a right-handed batsman, not a left-handed batsman. In the name of Glenn Maxwell. So for me, you shouldn't be able to change your feet, and you shouldn't be able to change your hands. I played hockey, so it's not that hard to change your hands and get more power on the ball. But if you use the pace and just have that flick shot through that particular region, you can still get value for shots. But when you switch your hands, you've got more chance of hitting it for six, and it's unfair because you can't set the field for that particular type of batsman. So I've got to tell the bowler or the wicketkeeper, the umpire, what I'm bowling, left arm over. I can't come in and just all of a sudden bowl a right arm delivery.
Okay.
It's called a no ball.
Okay.
So why would the batsman be allowed to change his hands and turn into a left-handed batsman when he's a right-handed batsman? Now, we've got a number of spinners out there that can bowl both hands now from India that have come in the under-19 scene. Can they swap hands while they're running in? So can they just walk in and get to the delivery crease and go, I'll just bowl a right arm off spinner this one instead of the left arm off spinner. Can they do that? No, they can't. So why can a batsman do that in his particular game? That's all. That's my biggest issue with it.
Brett, how much important is it to have a leg spinner or left arm spinner in international cricket, especially in the shorter format of the game, T20s? How important is it?
I think it's extremely important because with an off spinner, I've got the ball here. With an off spinner, you can only get a certain amount of revs on it. With a leg spinner, you can get plenty more revolutions on it. And we've tested that out at the Centre of Excellence in Australia. I think Nathan Lyon gets up to 2,000 revolutions. The next off spinner is about 1,800 revolutions per minute. With the leg spinners, it's anywhere between 2,200 to 2,800. I think Muirhead, that played a couple of T20 games, had the best rest in the business. Shane Warne was just under him with the amount of revolutions he got on the ball. So those extra revolutions get more drift and drop, and the overspin gets a little extra bounce. And on the flatter wickets, that extra bounce can create more wicket-taking opportunities than the off-spinner who can't get that overspin.
Okay. Brad, in which format do you have enjoyed bowling the most? Is it Test, one days, or T20?
Oh, look, each format's got its positives and negatives. The T20's short and sharp, but the crowd are more involved. 50 over cricket, you've got 10 overs, and those 10 overs, you've got time to set up a batsman. But Test cricket is the biggest test because you've got stodgy batsmen out there that don't take as many risks as in the shorter format. So you've got to bowl a lot tighter. You've got to have better plans, and you've got to create more wicket-taking opportunities. Whereas in the shorter format of the game, the batsmen are the ones that have got to come after you, and if you bowl tight, they're generally the ones that make the mistake. In Test cricket, you've got to work the batsman over and find and create the wicket-taking opportunity. So for me, Test cricket is the ultimate. It tests your endurance and it tests your skills. And yeah, that's where I sit with it.
Brad, you have also played the T20 cricket like in leagues, Big Bash, IPL. Now, if I talk about the leagues, how important is it for a spinner to perform in such format? Because obviously in franchise cricket, you have got one of the best players playing over here. So, is there any pressure in these leagues to perform?
In the T20 leagues, yes, there is.
Yeah, yeah. Especially, I'm talking about the IPL.
Oh, look, there's huge pressure to perform there because you've got a billion people watching you. But also, if you don't perform, you give an opportunity to another guy who's sitting on the bench. And those opportunities only come once in a blue moon. So you've got to take it, you've got to perform, otherwise you're not coming back next year. They don't muck around, team owners. They don't muck around coaches. They want success. And if you're not providing it, doesn't matter how much of a good bloke you are, how much of a team man you are, performances count, out the door you go. So, yeah, there's a lot more pressure on IPL cricket than any other franchise cricket that's going around in the world stage now. Because that's where the big money is too, for particular players, overseas players especially.
Fred, how's your life now as a cricket commentator and presenter? How are you overall going in this field? Are you enjoying it?
Oh, look, I'm enjoying it, but I'm trying to do more stuff from home. I do my own blogs now, so you can go Brad Hogg TV. Just a little plug there, Zimim. But oh, look, I enjoy it. It can be challenging. You've got to be creative. You've got to be switched on, and you really can't blink your eyes because something might happen that if you miss it, when you come back onto the commentary box a little bit later on, if you don't know the full story, you can be found out. And I have been found out once or twice, but it's a good thing. But it comes up. It's just like playing cricket. You've got to have good camaraderie in the commentary box with the people that you're working with. If you don't, it doesn't come across that well, and you don't enjoy it as much. So it's probably more important with the people that you work with than just doing the job. I absolutely love it.
Okay, Brad. Now I'll talk about the India versus
Yep.
Australia ongoing series. Now, Australia have won the one day series, but now India is leading the T20s. About one game is left, but they have won the series. Now there are tests coming up, and Rohit Sharma is not there in the first two tests. He's there in the third and fourth. So, do you think India will miss his presence in the first two tests?
I think where India are going to struggle is Virat Kohli is going home after the first Test match. Prithvi Shaw playing in the Australia A series looks as though he can't handle the extra bounce in Australian conditions. He likes to play that back foot drive through the covers, and over here with that extra bounce, it's a very difficult shot to play. So he's got to find a way to rectify that. You've got Shubman Gill, who batted reasonably well for his 20-odd today in Australia A. Their batting is going to be a little light on without Virat Kohli there. But the big miss for them is Ishant Sharma, the extra height with the extra bounce against the Australian batsman. He's one that can create that pressure. And I think he's going to be hugely missed in the bowling department. And they need to have a leg spinner in there, as we've discussed. So they don't have a leg spinner. No Ishant Sharma and Virat Kohli going over after the first game. I think they're in a bit of trouble. But David Warner's injury is good for India if he can't get back, because then Australia have got two opening batsmen that aren't confident. And if they can get Steve Smith or Labuschagne early, it exposes the middle order, which under pressure can crumble a little bit as well. So their bowlers have got to be on song, making sure that they don't let Steve Smith and Labuschagne have a huge impact in this series.
Okay, Brad. In your opinion, who's the favorite to win this Test series?
I think Australia have got a better bowling attack. But without David Warner, it brings India back into the pack. I think India are going to win a test match, but I think Australia will take out the series. I think it might be 3-1 or 2-1. There might be a draw in Melbourne.
Okay, right now, Pakistan versus New Zealand series is also up of the start. Now, Pakistan have always struggled overseas, like in Australia and New Zealand especially. So, do you think they have a chance in this series to pull it off?
Oh, look, they've got a lot more time over there to prepare for this particular series, because you have to go into the bubble, and then the opposition team gives you a couple of more weeks to get used to the conditions. So if they can get used to the swinging delivery, the batsmen find techniques to that, they've got a fair chance. But if they can't, they're in trouble. I think the bowlers are going to do really well, because they're very, very skillful with swinging the ball, especially in New Zealand conditions. But it's the batsmen, how do they handle the swinging conditions? And big Babar Azam, the pressure of captaincy, is that going to play a big impact on the series as well? Because that extra pressure, is that going to affect his batting? I hope not, because I just love watching him bat. And if he can stay out there and bat for a day and a half, I'll enjoy watching that. And then, this isn't going to sound too good for Pakistan supporters, I want to see Kane Williams bat for a day and a half as well. If those two perform, it's up to the bowlers to bowl the rest of the 11 out.
Yeah, obviously, Babar Azam is a batsman that Pakistan have got who will I say pure class. After Zimamullah, Mohammad Yusuf Saeed Anwar, he's the next batsman now with pure class. Now, Brad, if I talk about Babar Azam, now he's a world class player, no doubt about that. He's consistent, but people and the media keep on comparing him with Virat Kohli. Now, Kohli is also pure class, but do you think at the moment is it fair enough to compare him with a legend, like Kohli?
I don't like comparing batsmen. I've sort of compared them before with questions on Twitter and other scenarios. But for me, I think we've got to respect each player for what they deliver. And, Virat Kohli is very technically correct. Babar Azam, he's technically correct as well. So I think we've got to appreciate that we've got Steve Smith, Kane Williamson, Babar Azam, Virat Kohli. We've got Joe Root, who's done well. We've got so many quality batsmen around the world cricket at the moment. Let's enjoy what they offer. So let's not put pressure on Babar Azam. Just let him go out there and play the game that he grew up playing. and let's just embrace the skill, enjoy the skill, and hopefully this is going to be a big test for him down in New Zealand with the swinging ball. Has he got the patience? Has he got the technique to leave the ball, play late? He can play late, but has he got the patience? That would be the big question for me. Is patience and the ability to leave the ball define success for a batsman down in New Zealand conditions.
Okay, Brad. Now I'll talk about the PSL, Pakistan Super League. Uh, First of all, where you were in scene this year, you over there last year as a studio guest, but this year fans were expecting you to be a part of it, but you were not seen. And secondly, how much do you rate this league from other T20 leagues type quality broadcast with Batch, CPL, IPL? Where would you rate this league?
Oh, look, firstly, it was disappointing not being getting an invite or not getting an invite to go to the PSL this year. Really loved it the year before, but where does it rate with other tournaments around the world? Look, you can't beat the IPL because that's where the money is, and they attract all the bigger overseas players because the international calendar is cleared for the IPL. So other T20 tournaments around the world don't get that benefit, and so they can't get the bigger names there. But the PSL, where would I put that? It's going to be a push between the Big Bash here and the PSL for second. I just think both tournaments provide quality cricket. Both tournaments are really exciting. And the PSL being able to get back on Pakistan soil and be played there is going to make a huge difference. So PSL has got a huge chance, a huge opportunity right now of becoming the second best league in the competition or in world cricket. Simply for the fact that it's got a bigger population than all the other countries, and the broadcast was just quality. I enjoyed watching some of it back here in Australia when I wasn't in bed, and the cricket was just high quality. So, yeah, I think the PSL next year, when it's all played on home soil again, it'll be the second most popular tournament going around in world cricket.
Okay, will you be there in the next PSL?
I've got to talk to the board member, the CEO. Was he played here in Perth, the North Perth. So
Okay.
yeah, I'll try and see if he'll weasel me a job next year. So
Yeah, sure.
well, I can't. Everyone loves Danny Morrison there, so I can't get him. Can't kick Danny out.
Okay.
Danny's pure cloth in the PSL.
Yeah, I just took his interview also a few months ago. He's a really energetic guy, both off the field and on the field. Okay, Brad. Now, here's my rapid fire questions. You have to give quick one line answers. Okay.
Yep.
Describe yourself in 3 words.
3 words. Energetic, loyal, competitive.
Okay. What compliment does people give you the most?
Compliments people give me the most. This is a very hard question. That about myself. Friendly.
Okay. What is your favorite movie quote?
My favourite movie. It was Cool Runnings there for a while. Remember Cool Runnings? That was many moons ago. Many moons ago. I'm trying to think of a movie that I just watched of late. Can I put a documentary in there?
Yeah, sure.
David Attenborough's last video that he's made of his take on the Earth. I thought that was a real good piece of film.
Okay, what is the strangest thing you have ever eaten?
Strangest thing I've ever eaten? Well, a grasshopper.
Oh, you have ate a grasshopper. Are you serious?
Yeah, well, over here, we growing up on the farm, we had a bit of a grasshopper plague one year, and we had a bit of honey, and it would get the grasshoppers would end up on your front grill. You just pick one up, dip it in the honey, and eat it, and away you go.
Okay. Okay, Brad. Now this brings a conclusion. Yeah, sure.
Sorry, Zamir. You know, going back to the movies, I said the documentary. I said Cool Runnings for the movie. My favourite series is the Vikings or Suits.
Okay, Brad. First of all, thank you so much for giving your precious time for this interview, and we wish you best of luck for everything. So, guys, that's all from here, and cheers.
Zamim, thanks very much for having me, and everyone in Karachi and Pakistan. Stay safe, and it's great that we've got cricket back on your home soil, and hopefully Australia will be there sooner than later to have a bit of a contest between the two baggy green caps.
Okay, so, guys, that's all from here, and